From the floor of the CME Group, this is Danny Riley on today's Cash Close. What a week, you know? Listen, it was a big run and gun in the morning, and they rocked him higher, but then the yen came in, started to rally, and the S&Ps went flunk-a-dunk. And for the most part, every rally failed late in the afternoon, and then the MrTopStep and balance meter came out 90% to the buy side. The S&P popped up to 24 even, but the Japanese yen started rallying back up, and the spoos started going back down. Total range here in the S&P is basically 27 handles to the downside. Not good. The high of the S&P came in at 1634.70 early in the day. The low came in at 1617 even midday, and last were 1620 half. We're down 10.4 handles. Not good. But that said, you know what? The Pitbull's rules about looking for a low the Thursday or Friday before the expiration. Total volume is low. It's probably the lowest we've seen in 3 weeks. We've got 1.7 million minis traded. 300,000 of that came from Globex, 400,000 that came from the mini spread, and that only makes 1 million minis traded. That's low, you guys, very, very low. MOC, we had 56 million to sell to 140 million to sell. Wow, and that was with the imbalance meter pointing to the buy side.
56.
Monday, we have the Empire State Manufacturing Survey, we have the Housing Market Index, we have a 6-month T-bill auction, and then last but not least, exactly what happened here. Let me check this. No, we're really not moving here. It was really the yen. The yen came, when the yen rallied up 50, 60 points, 70 points, the S&P just dwindled. And then late in the day, when the yen rallied, when the yen sold off a little bit, the S&P started to bounce. And then when the yen rallied again, the S&P sold off again. So, in a nutshell, the S&P had a decent little flunk-a-dunk today. You know what? We're going into next week's expiration. The Ned Davis stats are very, very bullish. We doubt very highly that the S&P will act like this next week. But that said, you know what? I'm done trying to pick a direction here. Every time the S&P starts to go down, we think it's going to continue down, and then every time it goes back up, it looks like it's going to keep going, and in between there, it's just chopping everybody up. Have a good weekend. We'll see you on the opening print on Monday.